Hello and welcome to Chibi Reacts. I'm Chibi. I'm gonna be reacting. I just saw that this was uploaded 15 hours ago, and you guys know I love to do crafts. I crochet and I do diamond painting. And I happened to come across this while I was diamond painting. And I thought, why not react together? Because generally speaking, when I watch this kind of stuff, I watch it a lot, and it takes a lot before I'm actually disturbed by something. So let's just give it a go.
A Georgia couple is sentenced to 100 years behind bars after adopting two young boys to repeatedly rape. The dads even installed cameras throughout their family home to capture this ongoing sexual abuse. If that wasn't enough, though, they posted the images and videos online so other predators could view these horrifying crimes. We cover a lot of really intense topics here on Law and Crime, and this one is truly one of the more messed up stories I've ever looked at. I mean, we're talking about two young children who are the...
And I gotta agree, I look at a lot of messed up shit, and I feel like I'm pretty desensitized when it comes to these topics. But this is definitely one of the ones that impacted me as a watcher a lot more than others. I'm not saying this means they're not horrific, they're all horrific, but I'm just saying this is a bigger impact for me personally.
Victims in this story, which unto itself is heartbreaking, but it's an added layer of depravity when we consider that the bad guys in this story are actually the boys' parents. A family's home is supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be a place where the kids can trust their parents and feel at home, but instead, first responders call this a house of horrors.
I think the horrible thing is not the fact, or only the fact, that it is the parents that have done this abuse. I think it's the fact that they adopted these children, because they're two men and they can't naturally conceive a child with each other unless they have I don't even know, it's not everywhere allowed. In Germany we call it Leihmutter. It's like it's a woman that will have with one of these men's a child through help of medicine, but they have adopted these two boys. So I mean, I know that in the US right now, not in all states, but in some, being gay, or being especially gay men, is difficult. Getting married is difficult. Coming out to your family is difficult. I am myself bisexual, but I am luckily from a family that is very open to that. And when I came out at the age of 23, it wasn't a big deal, actually. So, but I know that in other places it is, especially for young children, sometimes even for older people. Like, we had a gay mayor, and he was married before with children. I imagine that would have been difficult too. But to not divert much from the topic or digress, I think this is what makes it even worse, that they have adopted these children to begin with. And I don't know if it's the same over there as it is over here, but if you aren't a straight couple, if you are a gay couple where the two women or two men, it is more difficult to adopt children, which I feel like makes the situation so much worse. And I feel like this is why it's so shocking to me personally.
Direct quote. Take this as your trigger warning, because right now we're going to dive into those details. The parents in this case are 34-year-old William and 36-year-old Zachary Zulock. They're a married couple out of Walton County, Georgia, which is just east of Atlanta. We're not revealing their sons' names to keep the boys' privacy, but we can tell you that right now they're ages 10 and 12, and they were adopted by the Zulocks through a Christian special needs agency.
Okay, questions. I actually have questions, because over here we had, oh god, a while ago we had like this, I don't know if it was a referendum. It was like where people could vote on whether gay marriage should be legal or not. And most Christians over here said no. It is legal, but most Christians said no, they shouldn't have to marry. Even our back then Chancellor Angela Merkel, she said, a family should be, that is according to Angela Merkel, not my opinion. She said a family should be woman, man, children. Which also means that single parents are not considered a normal family to Angela Merkel. And I know people in other countries call her Angela Merkel, but I'm German, so I call her Angela Merkel. Or Mutti, but we don't call her that anymore. So, it means anybody that is not fitting into this standard form of Christian belief, which is man, female, or man, woman, and child, is not a normal family, right? According to Christians, at least where I'm from. So I'm wondering, is that like a normal thing for people in the US? Because as far as I have known, religion is a lot of the times very much against anything that doesn't fit their standard, which is considered norm for them, which is male, female, child.
Zulak family seemed to have it all. William worked for the government and Zachary had a job in banking. Their home was upscale too, in a nice neighborhood of Loganville, Georgia.
This would explain why they were able to adopt, because I know adopting can be difficult. The reason why I know is because I once thought about adopting instead of having my own children. So I think that's why both of them have very good jobs. They make good money. They would be in a position to properly, Jesus, I can't talk, properly look after those children. And, in a way, they would be. I think that's why they were able to adopt to begin with. Because if you are, I don't know about the US, like I said, but I know, for example, in the UK, even my former teacher, she was amazing with children. And she and her husband wanted to adopt for ages, and they couldn't. Although they had a house, they had enough money, they both had good jobs, and it just didn't work out. But it could be that over there they are a lot stricter. What the hell is this guy doing? A lot stricter than they are in the US, perhaps.
Posted pics online that were smiling, happy, basically looking like they were the picture-perfect family. They even have a photo wearing shirts that say, "Love my family," with the rainbow flag in support of pride. But behind this facade, there was something much more sinister. Now, the investigation dates back to July 2022, when the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Exploitation and Computer Crimes Unit got a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. According to this tip, child sex material was traced to an IP address in Walton County, Georgia. That's the same area where the Zulak family lived. But the person behind this address, it was actually a man named Hunter Lawless, who was caught downloading homemade child porn onto his computer. Lawless fessed up right away, though. He admitted to the crime, but he told investigators it wasn't him who created these images. Instead, he said the person behind this child porn sex ring was a man named Zachary Zulak. And
snitches get stitches. No, actually, fair enough, though, that he said, "Hey, I didn't create this, I just watched this." It's not making this all better, by the way. It's still fucking bad. Or like, really bad that the person watched this to begin with. But, yeah.
He said Zachary had sent him these images and videos, and in the past, offered his sons up to Hunter Lawless.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Jesus. Not only did they produce CP, they also offered their sons as a service to others.
Just a quick note here. Hunter Lawless pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation of children and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. His arrest also...
That's it. 20 years. I mean, you guys could say, okay, he hasn't really done anything to a minor, but like the fact that he was offered someone's child, in my opinion, he should have reported that immediately, but obviously didn't, consider what he was watching. But it should be a little bit more than 20 years. And let's be honest, it's America. He's probably gonna come out way sooner on good behavior.
Led to the arrest of Luis Vaccaro Sanchez, who was eventually charged and sentenced to 60 years in prison. Meanwhile, the investigation pointed back to the Zulak family. Inside their home, investigators collected 7 terabytes of child sex material. Let that number sink in.
That's a lot.
A terabyte holds 1,000 gigabytes. That's any
7 terabytes. That's more than I have on my PC. My PC can only hold up to 2 terabytes of storage, and it's mostly video games, really. It's actually just video games. So like, that is more than I have. Jesus Christ, that is a lot. Ugh, nuh-uh.
Anywhere between 200,000 and 500,000 pictures, or if it's video, it's 500 hours. That means these dads had more than 3,000 hours worth of child pornography recordings of their own sons. And if you want to quantify that in photos, we're talking upwards of 3.5 million pictures of 2 young boys, now ages 10 and 12. Investigators later revealed.
Did you hear that? Now ages 10 and 12? That means, I mean, we don't know, or I don't know when they adopted them, but that means that has been going on for a very long time, meaning they were probably a lot younger when they started, and the footage is already, I assume, from when it started.
That the dads set up security cams in their own home, like how we see nanny cams or ring cams inside of our home, but these cams weren't used for security reasons. Instead, they were used to record the sexual abuse that was taking place all over the home. Investigators say both parents repeatedly raped these boys and recorded it with video or photos, but that wasn't all. They also admitted to all of these crimes in texts and social media messages. Investigators say the men would brag to their friends, saying they planned to have sex with their sons, and then they would follow up after they carried out this really disturbing act. Both men...
What? Okay, so let this sink in for a minute, right? Let's imagine your friend is texting you, I want to have me with my sons, and then follows up on that. You should report that shit. Why didn't you do anything? What? I mean, those friends should be held accountable just as much as anybody else that is involved in this, because I actually have like goosebumps, because that's so, I can't imagine that being, that is so horrible. Like, you know, no. How can you just let that slide and not report it or say anything or do anything?
Men eventually admitted to this.
Even if you think that your friend might be joking because there's some really fucked up humor out there, just no, just like
saying to investigators that they sodomized the boys and forced them to perform oral sex on both parents. Here's how the charges broke down. William Zulak was charged with 6 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sexual exploitation of children, and a couple other sexual offenses.
And a couple of other sexual offenses, like they're not that important. I still would like to know what they are.
Zulak was charged with 2 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children, 2 counts of pandering for a person under 18 and other sexual offenses. Now, William pleaded guilty to all these charges back in August, and Zachary pleaded guilty to all but 1 charge. That didn't work out for him, though, because he took it to a bench trial and was found guilty there. Just this month, both men were sentenced to 100 years in prison without the possibility of parole, meaning they'll spend the rest of their lives behind bars. This case is true.
Yeah, and you watch, this is America, so there might be a chance that down the line, in 10, 20 years, it's gonna change and they have good behavior and whatnot. I'm sorry, but like most child crimes, and this is not just America, it's everywhere, it's over here as well. Most child crimes are not having the highest of sentencing because at the end of the day it's about money, and when you hurt a child, it's not the same as you stealing something from the government. That is way worse to them. So like over here we have that as well. If you are illegally downloading movies, you burn them on DVD. I know people don't have DVDs anymore, that was when I was a kid. But when you used to illegally download a movie and then you burn it on DVD and you sell this DVD and people find out, you will go 10 years to prison. But if you are a PDF file, you go 5 years to prison. See, this is whilst, you know, sure, that is wrong, you shouldn't download movies and burn them to DVDs and sell them to people, and at the end of the day cost the movie industry not that much probably, but ruining a child's life for infinity there is no price on that. So that person getting 5 years is ridiculous. It should be less than 5 years. More than 5 years. Apologies, more than 5 years. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I won't, because in 100 years I won't be alive anymore, but neither will they. But
Really
yeah.
one of the most disturbing I've covered in my career. I'm still trying to make sense of it all. Let's bring in trial attorney Krista Ramey to help us out too. Krista, have you ever seen a case like this before?
So the thing is, and I'm saying this now because I've seen up to here around, she says it's almost as if they... Oh wait, I'll let it play and then you'll see.
It's like, no. Well, first of all, no. And it's almost as if these men adopted these children for this explicit purpose.
I mean, yes, that much is obvious, right? Because otherwise, why would they adopt 2 boys? I'm just saying. The moment you see this picture and you hear the charges, you immediately know why this is 2 boys. So, I think this is what makes this entire thing more horrible. It is not only, especially like to me personally, because I know for some other homosexual couples it's really hard to adopt children, and I know they want children, and I think this just is so much worse because they adopt the children for the sole purpose of doing horrible things to them. And I'm not saying that heterosexual couples are not doing the same thing, which is also horrific if that would be to come out for some of them, but I think it's way worse because this puts such a bad lighting on same-sex couples and if they want to adopt children, because I am 100% sure there is so many same-sex couples that want to adopt children and have such a difficult time, and this right here is not making it easier for them. So, but you know, in everything there is bad and good grapes. I just think since it's already a touchy subject in the sense of not many people want to even touch that or talk about it. I do know people that say, I don't have anything against gay people, but, and then there comes the but. It's like saying I'm not racist, but. So They say as long as they keep him indoors, then I don't care, which is already dodgy to me. But regardless, I think it's bad because it puts such a bad lighting on people of the same sex that want to adopt. And I think that's why it's so horrible to me, and I'm so shocked about it, because we are maybe a progressive civilization and many countries are progressive, but walking 3 steps back may sound easy, but walking these 3 steps forward again is gonna be hard. So like, I can see people say, I'm not saying I'm saying this, but I can see people say you shouldn't be able to adopt children when you are a same-sex couple and the child has the same sex as the same-sex couple. I can see people say that, mainly because people are stupid, and this is one of the stupidity they're gonna come out with. Personally, do I think that? No. Should same-sex couples still be able to adopt a child from their own sex? Yes. Should people adopt? Yes, I think they should, but only, and really only, if this is not the case. I mean, we don't know why these children to begin with were up for adoption. We don't know if they came from a traumatic home, or if their parents died, or if something else happened. We don't know all of this, and we will not find this out, I don't think, because these children keep being protected, which I approve of very well. But I think not only the parents should be held accountable and the people that have watched the CP content, but I also think those friends and everyone else that had a notion or just like a small text of what's going on should be held accountable, because these 2 kids, now ages 10 and 12, they didn't start as 10 and 12, I assure you, they had no one to help them. Every adult that they told, which is their friends, every adult had a chance to save these children and they didn't take it. Now imagine how that feels when you're that child. You feel like there is no good, there is no one to help you. It's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. And no. Just no. Like, they should be held accountable. And I don't really know the full adoption process in the US, and I believe it's probably different from state to state, but I think this should not even be possible. People should look better into this. And sure, it is really hard, I think, to figure out that someone adopts for the sole purpose of this, but I don't think that they never done anything that maybe didn't show in advance that something was wrong. Not necessarily this magnitude of wrong, but maybe something, So, yeah, it's just something I'm shocked by. And that has impacted me a lot. I haven't seen all of this video, like I said, and I just wanted to make a reaction on the part that I did see. I would love to know your guys' view, or, well, in general, what you thought or think when you saw this. Let me know down below in the comments. That was it for me. I will be linking this video in the description if you want to watch it for yourself. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. And yeah, bye bye.